Okay, Lubby, I think we have one for you today.
Okay.
When is the right time to start dating after a breakup?
Well, the rules say it takes you half the time you're in the relationship to get over the relationship. So you have to give yourself that amount of time. It's a general guideline.
Well,
I always did.
Well, is there some upper limit? What if you've been in a 10-year relationship? You got to wait 5 years before you start dating again?
I don't know. They didn't cover that.
Holy crap. Well, I think it's when you have become yourself again, when you have completely disengaged emotionally from the other person, and you can now become yourself again. And some people can do that relatively quickly. Maybe they had already been disengaged from the relationship and the final cut was kind of a final cut and you don't need much time to get past it. The other people's, maybe they weren't ready. Maybe the decision wasn't theirs and it's going to take them a longer time to get through. And so when you're talking about when's the right time for a relationship, I think it's when you can honestly look in the mirror and say, I am now my single own person and I am coming at a new relationship from a position of personal strength. I think that would be my suggestion.
When you've disengaged, yes.
Yes.
When you've disengaged from the other relationship.
Not just disengage from the other relationship, but become your own person.
Become your own person.
And are standing back on your own 2 feet. It doesn't
you have
necessarily
more
mean you
sense of self again.
Yeah. You don't have to just have your life all put back together again, because that's not
going to happen.
That's not an easy or short-term task. But when you have a solid foundation, a solid idea of who you are as an individual, what your individual kind of wants, needs, and desires are outside of a relationship, especially if your relationship has been going on for a while. If it's a 2-month relationship, you can probably move on in a week. Most people, I think, but if it's a 2-year relationship, it may take a few months.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure it's going to take a year, but I think it may take a few months for you to get centered back into yourself, rather than, as a relationship where you're literally giving part of yourself over. You're kind of connecting yourselves, and so it's hard to put yourself all back into one package.
Yes.
And be concerned about yourself again before you start going off. And then I suspect that most people, when they get there, want to hang out there for a little while. And so maybe they want to date, but maybe they don't want to date seriously.
Yes.
So you just, not even playing the field is probably even the wrong term.
You just go on 1 or 2 dates.
And if something happens, something happens. But the reality is you're just trying to re-engage yourself in the real world. So my answer would be, when you're ready, just be honest with yourself.
Yes.
And that is your daily dose of love.